Om Gam Ganapatye Namaha. Kaliyugada Kalpataru, the fifth delight. Shri Raghavendra Gurusarvabhauma. Chapter 6. In the capital city, Shri Surendra Tirtha. Shri Krishnadevaraya had set out on a campaign of conquest, and it might have been 5 or 6 months since his departure. Shri Vyasaraja Tirtha was engaged in penance at Tirupati for the emperor's victory. In the capital, governance was overseen by Ramaraja of the Araviti lineage, the grandfather of Aliya Ramaraja, who was one of the most loyal, courageous, experienced and trusted confidants of Sri Krishnadevaraya. His administration was popular among the people. On the 7th day of the waxing phase of the lunar month Chaitra in the year Shalivana Shaka 1435, Srimukha Samvatsara, corresponding to April 13, 1513, the highly revered Sri Surendra Tirtha, the head of the Vedanta empire established by Sri Madhvacharya and the pontiff of Sri Kavindra Tirtha, southern seats, graced the Kannada capital with his visit. The disciples of Sri Mata, the religious citizens of the capital, respectfully welcomed the great pontiff and arranged for his stay near the Vrindavana of Sri Raghavendra Tirtha. For an audience with Sri Surendra Tirtha, who was their familial guide and spiritual mentor, Veena Krishnacharya, along with some of his court associates and several scholars from the Vidyapita, visited the revered saint. At that time, Sri Surendra Tirtha was delivering a lecture on Sri Manyaya Sudha to a group of students. Upon their arrival, Krishnacharya and his entourage respectfully bowed before Sri Surendra Tirtha, who greeted them warmly with a smile and inquired about their well-being. Sri Surendra Tirtha: Krishnacharya, it is a joy to see you after so many years. Is everything well? Krishnacharya: by the grace of a revered Guru, all is well. It has been many years since I had the privilege of seeing you. Surendra Tirtha: indeed, we last met at Mulibagalu in the presence of the late revered Shri Lakshmi Narayana Yogindra during my pre-monastic days, isn't it? Since then, I am seeing you now in this form. Hearing of your reputation as a favorite of Vyasaraja Guru Pungava and the cherished scholar of the Kannada Empire fills me with great joy. Krishnacharya, smiling: all of this is due to the grace of the Guru's feet. Back then, we met as family members. Today, we meet as Guru and disciple. You seem to have grown frail, revered Guru. Surendra Tirtha: yes, managing the responsibilities of the Mahasamsthana is no trivial task, coupled with pilgrimages and travels for the upliftment of disciples. Krishnacharya: after the late Shri Raghavendra Tirtha Gurupadaru's sacred journey, it seems you had plans for the development of the Vrindavana here, isn't it? Surendra Tirtha: yes. After the establishment of Acharya Gurupada's Vrindavana, I had intended to return many times to enhance the Vrindavana's surrounding with buildings and pavilions. However, being occupied with pilgrimages, I was unable to do so. Everything has its destined time, does it not? Now I wish to complete those tasks and also perform the Mahabhisheka of Sri Mularamadeva here. It has been many years since I had the fortune of seeing Sri Vyasaraja Guruvarya. I had hoped for that opportunity but learned that the Kannada Emperor is away on a victory campaign and Sri Vyasaraja Tirtha is performing penance in Tirupati for the Emperor's success. Hence, for now, that blessings eludes us. Krishnacharya: I plan to perform the grand consecration of Sri Mularama here and complete the development of the Vrindavana's infrastructure. I trust that as a member of this lineage and one of the key disciples, you will assist in these endeavors. Krishnacharya: I am always a servant to the Mata's service. It would be my fortune to serve under the guidance of the Venerable Guru. Saying this, Krishnacharya introduced the scholars accompanying him to the Guru. Sri Surendra Tirtha inquired about everyone's well-being and instructed, have the darshan of the Lord, partake in the sacred Tirtha Prasada and then depart. That afternoon, after the Lord's worship, Tirtha Prasada and meals, Shri Surendra Tirtha summoned Krishnacharya for a discussion. Following Krishnacharya's advice, Sri Surendra Tirtha instructed that formal invitations for the Mahabhisheka, that is grand consecration of Sri Moola Ramadeva, be written. This invitation addressed to Ramaraja, the royal representative, other ministers, key political figures, representatives of Sri Vyasaraja Mata, scholars and both Vedic and secular authorities were prepared with sacred rice, that is Phalamantrakshata. The Mata officials and religious authorities were tasked to distribute them to the respective recipients. Krishnacharya, along with the Mata officials, took the invitation and went to meet Ramaraja, the royal representative. Through the palace officials, they conveyed the purpose of their visit. Ramaraja, showing respect, invited Krishnacharya and the Mata delegation, offered them seats, and inquired about their well-being. Following this, the religious authorities of the Mata presented the invitation along with Phalamantrakshata, accompanied by Vedic chants. Ramaraja received them with devotion. At that very moment, a senior imperial official arrived with a messenger and read a letter from the emperor addressed to Ramaraja. Upon reading it, Ramaraja's face lit up with joy. Overwhelmed with happiness, he turned to Krishnacharya and said, Pandit, what an auspicious coincidence. At the very moment the revered Shri Surendra Tirtha arrived in the capital and sent his blessings and Phalamantrakshata for the Mahabhisheka of Sri Moola Ramadeva, we received the joyous news that the great emperor, by his grace, has been victorious in his Digvijaya campaign, subduing enemies everywhere and achieving a string of triumphs. From the past 2 months, we have been anxious with no updates on the emperor's campaign. That we receive this news at the same time as the revered Shri's blessings and the Mantrakshata is nothing short of miraculous. We truly believe this signifies the dawn of great fortune for the emperor, he declared. Krishnacharya, filled with immense joy, said, Swami, the great consecration, that is Mahabhisheka of Sri Moolarama in the capital, along with the gracious presence of the ascetic and the noble Sri Surendra Tirtha, as you said, is not only immensely auspicious for our emperor and the Kannada land, but also a sign that, like Lord Rama, our great emperor will always achieve victory in his conquest. The arrival of this auspicious news indeed signifies the dawn of prosperity and great fortune. It brings me immense happiness, he expressed. Ramaraja, overjoyed, asked, Acharya, to which revered lineage of Sri Madhvacharya does the esteemed Sri Surendra Tirtha belong? I know that our royal guru, Sri Vyasaraja Tirtha, belonged to the lineage of Sri Raghavendra Tirtha. Within the two great seats established by Sri Madhvacharya, the lineage of Sri Raghavendra Tirtha, Sri Kavindra Tirtha and Sri Padmanabha Tirtha, which lineage does Sri Surendra Tirtha belong to? To this, Krishnacharya explained, Sri Surendra Tirtha is the head of the great seat of Sri Madhvacharya, which has been adored by luminaries like Sri Kavindra Tirtha. Ramaraja, delighted, responded, This is wonderful. May the grand consecration of Sri Moolarama, the revered deity of Sri Madhvacharya, take place magnificently for the prosperity of the empire. May it transform the kingdom into a Ramaraja, free of all obstacles. We will ensure that the Guru is welcomed with utmost respect and that all arrangements are made at the temple of Sri Vijayavethala Deva for the Mahabhisheka to take place there. We humbly request the Guru's blessings. Krishnacharya, pleased with these sentiments, conveyed the matter to the Mata authorities. Understanding Ramaraja's intentions, one of the palace officials presented betel leaves, fruits, and flowers as offerings to the Mata authorities, who in turn departed joyfully after receiving the royal representative's approval. After this, Ramaraja discussed with Krishnacharya the necessary arrangements for the grand consecration. Summoning the palace officials, he instructed them accordingly. Finally, he presented Krishnacharya with offerings of betel leaves, fruits, and flowers and sent him off respectfully. Om Hari Om. Om Sri Krishnarpanamastu.